Hey, welcome back to Milton Daily Homes. Chuck here. We have a list of 15 properties today, and it's all in town. You can see on the map here. The part that amuses me when I see this map is copyright 2015 here. So, hey, right here, it's copyright. Let's get started. 1380 Costigan, number 68. There is a small fee attached to this one, $84 a month. It's a stacked town, so this door leads to the space that's up on the second and third level, and then you have this one here, which is this level plus below grade, plus the basement, essentially. Why I think this is a good fit for some people, and originally I didn't like this when I first saw them, because I thought, you know what, there's one bedroom on this floor, and then there's two below. But what I've started to realize is, on this floor here, you have living room, kitchen, and bedroom. Laundry's downstairs, but everything else that you need to live is on the main floor. So this can actually be a bit of a condo alternative for somebody who maybe doesn't want the high-rise kind of thing. So $335 is a good price as well, especially for the size of this one. You're over 1,400 square feet total space, even though technically real square footage is above grade square footage. So divide that by half or so. Anyway, that's your living area, open concept, and then you've got your master plus ensuite, and there's your basement too. I have seen people that have just left one bathroom downstairs. There's also, one bedroom downstairs. There's also a full bathroom, and then you've got kind of a rec room area. So for the right person, especially somebody who's single, this could actually be a pretty cool space. It could be, another great example would be, I'm single and I want a roommate. Down in the basement, you've got a full bathroom and two bedrooms, so you could even rent some of this out. They would have to pass through your living area to get down there, but if you're more on a roommate kind of thing, it could work and it could help subsidize a mortgage. So this is pretty much getting close to entry point. Even the village towns in many cases are higher priced than this, so it's going to sell pretty fast. Now, when North Star came to town and started building, they were relatively new in Milton. Wasn't sure about them, but I've come to really like their homes. I've come to realize that they didn't build such a bad house at all. And so this one here is kitchen with an eat-in. Then you have an open concept area right here with a fireplace that you'd put a TV on top of. The builder did finish the basement. Bedrooms are all nice size. There's 3 of them upstairs. And I think this one is around 1,500 square feet plus a finished basement. And I like the price of this one. The other nice thing, you're on a 105-foot deep lot, which is probably, I'm going to say, anywhere from 10 to 30 feet deeper than most of the other builders in town. So you walk around these, my experience has been the floors don't really squeak too much. Not a lot of nail pops. It seems to be that they did a pretty good job, at least from my experience. It's a good week for townhouses. So this one on Bustle Crescent at $469 to me also looks pretty good. This is essentially your main floor. So you've got a kitchen with a little dividing wall right here. There's an island that comes off of it, and then you've got your living space here. Now, I look at this one as they put a dining table plus they've got a family room, but dining table and eat-in, I don't know if it's worth it tying up the space with 2 tables, right? I mean, unless one ends up being kind of a homework table and that's where you eat every day, maybe something like that. More often than not, 80% of the time, we just see this one room ends up being a big family room. So anyway, finished basement, usually finished by the builder. The bedrooms upstairs are a good size, plus there's a loft area to have a desk. And I actually looked this up. Tadamaguchi is on the East Coast, and the meaning of the word is the meeting of waters. So anyway, fun fact for you, and you're backing onto green space too. So we had another one, I believe it was on Bustle earlier this week, that I also gave pretty high marks for, and it might have been yesterday actually. And this one fits right in as one of my favorites in this price range. Now, if someone was looking at Livingston at $469 end unit townhouse, Photographs well, looks pretty clean and tidy. This is a good example of how much stuff you should have in your kitchen, which is not a lot. Downstairs, you look at this and you say, okay, you've got a small kitchen. The ceiling looks pretty low. It's a drop ceiling there. And then you have a bathroom and you have 2 bedrooms. But looking ahead, what's going to limit this one in terms of being a legal or allowed basement apartment, at least from what I know, is going to be the parking situation. You can park cars in a row on this driveway. It looks like it says 3 parking spots. It would be 1 in the garage, 2 on the driveway. But unless you could extend and have side-by-side parking on this one, it's going to give you a hard time. The other thing you need is 2 means of exit for sure. One of them is usually the staircase coming up to the home, but you also need some kind of a separate entrance as well. So anyway, it could be good for in-laws per se, but maybe for a real rentable basement apartment, there could be some challenges. 148 Heslop is at $475. Brought the price down a little bit. This room is very impressive. Not a bad idea to start with that photo. And because the home itself on the outside is, nobody's going to fall in love with the curb appeal of this home. That's an entrance that goes directly into that back room there. So it's a big addition on the back of a semi. There's your kitchen there. And bedrooms upstairs, finished basement. And the bathrooms had some work done, but the real highlight of this home is an almost 200-foot lot. You just don't see that very often in Milton. And the trees are blooming. This is a good time of year to sell this home. There's not a lot of similar sales. How many semis have 200-foot lots? That can be the blessing and the curse sometimes when you're selling a home, is if there's not a lot of relevant data, sometimes someone will walk in and just give you whatever you want. And other times they'll say, well, we don't really know what to pay. And that indecision causes delays and sometimes buyers to go in other directions. So anyway, I like this price point. I think, to the best of my research and belief, I would say that they've got to be pretty close to what it's actually worth. So townhouse at $499, just under 1,600 square feet on Bundy. And looks like they've done a great job. Should be. It's an agent that owns it. He's a good agent too. So they've pretty much ripped, flooring out and kitchen, and it's pretty much a new house. Laundry upstairs plus 3 bedrooms, and looks pretty good. It looks like they've just front to back made this move-in ready, and we have seen this model creep over 500 once. It had a bigger backyard than this one, but I'll tell you, this one looks really nice inside. Now these are Main Street towns. We reviewed a corner one with all the marble. I had a comment, it reminded someone of a dentist office. And anyway, this one here is a Rothmill. It's around the same size, 1,800. It's an end unit instead of a corner with the double garage in the back. Very impressive finishes here. Did a nice job on the deck here too. You could slide these and give yourself privacy or leave it open. Love that thought. And just really well done. Probably the first time I've seen a teepee in any of these listing photos. So this is on the 2nd floor. There's the kitchen with the eat-in, and then there's a whole other separate living area. Anyway, you've got the wainscoting, tasteful wallpaper, and absolutely move-in ready. There's some good show level homes here. I mean, these are all real high quality, well done places that, like I said, are move-in ready, which does command a premium. We get up to $529. We've got one on Zimmerman. I would say the 2 best features of this home, you've got side-by-side parking in the driveway, which is the next best thing to a double-car garage, and then you have a really deep 110-foot backyard. The rest of the home, it's okay. The layout, I think it's maybe 1,700 square feet. At this price point, I think they've taken into consideration that, the kitchen and some of the finishes are not going to blow you away. But For this size of home, you could come in, you could do a little bit of work, and it's really hard to find a detached, especially on a good sized lot for under $550. So I like this one a lot. I think it has a lot going for it at the price point, even if you walk in and you're not like, oh my God. And some of the other homes like we've seen today, like Bundy, maybe it's not that fancy, but I can turn this one into something that looks good. I can't put more land and I can't change parking. So that's what you look for, the things that you can't change. McJanet's going to attract a fair bit of attention because there are so many single car garages in the mid 350s. I mean, even the one that we have on Diamond at $595, it's bigger than this one, but even that, there's not a lot of double garages under $6. So anyway, it's 1638 square feet. Because it's a smaller house and you're put on the same size yard as homes that are 2,600 square feet, you're going to find that your yard looks pretty big. All you have on this one is a kitchen plus a family room. And they didn't really show the size of the family room too well. 3 bedrooms upstairs. And yeah, same thing. Not going to blow your mind inside, but from a value perspective, if having a double garage and maybe a smaller house inside, giving up maybe the formal dining room or something like that, this could be a very good option for someone. I'm a big fan of this model, the Arista Eden. I like the elevation, the mostly brick. What I like about it is you've got a pretty open concept. So the kitchen overlooks the dining and the family, which is separated by a half wall. So the thing about leaving this all open is that it's hard to separate space. If you have a half wall, you put your couch against this wall and it's still, the flow and the rhythm is still there. And then it also has, you walk up some stairs and then you've got a family room with a nice high 11-foot ceiling. And then that leads to the rest of the house. So it's a gentle transition between floors. They've also done some nice work. This home, I think, is about 2,600 square feet, and maybe a little bit on the high side price-wise for that size of home, but it also looks like it's in pretty good shape. I just like the floor plan. If you Google Arista Eden, you can probably find the floor plan. Cousins Terrace is $759. It's a 3,000 square foot home. So, like I talked about last week, anything around 3,000 square feet, this is 3053, I think, by the book, anywhere near 750 is not so bad at all, especially the stone and stucco elevation here. This post is bothersome, okay? So if you park in the driveway, you open your driver's door, assuming you're pulling in forward, I know people that hit their doors on this pole. It's a design flaw that for me has always been apparent whenever I've seen this home, unless you've got a longer driveway and you don't have a sidewalk. So you've got a den here, then you have a living dining room and entrance from the garage, and also you've got the powder room, and then there's the basement access is over around here off the kitchen, and then there's the kitchen family over here. Bow window, center island, got some pot lights in here. This is an 8-foot ceiling. This model is drastically a different impression when you have the 9-foot. And actually the other one, the 1,600 square foot double garage, that's another one that when you add a 9-foot, makes a huge, huge difference. Some models, I mean, every time you have a 9-foot, it creates impact, but there's some that it doesn't even look like the same house, and this is one of them. Big ensuite, and then you've got 4 bedrooms plus a loft upstairs, and you've got 3 full bathrooms. Same thing with this one. I could probably come in and raise it up a notch in terms of how it looks, but this is pretty much starting point for a 3,000 square foot home. I think one of the best value ranges right now is in the $800,000 to $900,000 range. We've talked about Holland Rake. We've talked about some of the other Tuxford's, another one. This one on Hinchey is very impressive. West side of town, completely different area than the other two. But you've got these lovely barn boards, accent wall in the family room, and I think potentially also in the dining room. and 4-bedroom, 4-washroom, which means you've got 3 bathrooms upstairs. This is not standard builder stuff. This is all custom finishes in here. So anyway, and you've got green space behind. You got a hot tub mixed in here. I mean, there's some good stuff in this price range, and they're all kind of battling each other right now. And I mean, I've seen the same kind of pricing last year. So while the rest of the market, while townhouses have kind of gone up 50,000, these ones have stayed relatively constant, or maybe gone up a little bit. But the point is that if you're looking for a home for the long term, you get into something like this. It's all done, and people that are moving up tend to be more feature conscious than price conscious. You start off, buy your first home, want something I can afford. I don't want it to be dumpy. I want it to look decent, but it doesn't have to have all the granite counters and fancy finishes. And then as you progress along your timeline and you start buying that forever house, you like a little bit of sizzle. You like the green space behind, the double garage, the eventually having a finished basement, and so on. 114-foot lot is much deeper than the standard in this area. I like this one. So there we go. There's 15 homes in today's list. If you want to see anything this weekend, definitely reach out and give us a call, and we are here to help. Thank you for watching Daily Homes, and we're going to be back next week with more hilarity and more fun and a lot more, hopefully, valuable information about your home search. See you later.